10 days to the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Hello and welcome to Election Brief. My name is Faustina Safo. Election Headquarters is brought to you in association with Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, Chopbox, a convenience service, German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, and AICPA, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Also brought to you by Youth Breed Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. Syntex Tanks, a strong, a tough, potential real estate, your trusted partner in real estate. Deluxe Paint Mood Champion. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125 on all our social media platforms and around the world on myjoyonline.com. My name is Faustina Safo. Please stay for details. Thanks for staying with us. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. While the Ghana Police Service is shifting gears with just days to the 2024 general election, adopting the transparent and proactive approach in its engagement with the media and the public. Traditionally tight-lipped, the police's limited communication with stakeholders has drawn criticism over the years. However, with 18 days to the December 7 polls, the police now pledge to increase transparency, enhance public engagement and provide timely information. At a critical meeting with media heads, the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufo-Dampare, outlined fresh strategies, including the establishment of a 24-hour centralized press briefing center to keep the public informed throughout the election.
Police service much to the dislike of civil society organizations and the general public. They've been very tight-lipped about information. While we count the days to the December 7 polls, the Ghana Police says that posture will change. At a crucial meeting between the Ghana Police Service and the heads of media institutions in the country, the Ghana Police Service says they are now committed to updating the public on a regular basis throughout the election period. Dr. George Akufo-Dampare is the IGP of the Ghana Police Service.
We are setting up National Election Security Task Force Press Briefing Center. You can come, we'll serve you with coffee, we'll serve you with tea, and of course biscuit. And we will be sharing the information with the speed of light. We are currently working with the telcos to assign to us a dedicated number that will be used in this room. Wherever you find yourself, when there is a situation, you can, through calling that number, assess myself directly.
Additionally, the police says they will be more proactive in their dealings with the political parties and also dealing with election-related disputes.
We'll be able to be dealing with multiple issues at the same time, because as soon as it comes, we'll then refer, a commissioner will be on it. We may call a general secretary of the two parties or national organizers of the two parties. We will call an agent of the parties on the ground, and we look at the issue. But
IGP Dampare says the police will not hesitate in dealing with troublemakers.
To the people who think that they can probably come out with making statements to intimidate and do all that, we want to tell them that life will become very uncomfortable for them. So they shouldn't even try.
The expectation of the Ghana Police Service is to deliver the best election in Ghana that is free from violence. For Joy News, Michael Ashali.
Well, just as you have heard in that report, the Ghana Police Service has yet again sent signals it will not hesitate to use brute force to manage chaotic situations that may arise during the 2024 general election. The police reassurance was given by the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufo-Dampare, during a meeting with leadership of the various political parties and representatives of all independent presidential candidates going into the election. Well, the meeting is currently ongoing at the police headquarters, and we will see political parties committing to peace before, during and after the election. Well, my colleague James Aveji is there for us. Let's go there live and speak to James, who is on the ground. James, we know the first half of the meeting has ended. Tell us what exactly the political parties have been saying.
Well, firstly, the indications would have started from the last 2 days when there have been contact allegations as well as counter allegations from the two major political parties, the NDC and the NPP, about some plans to disrupt the peace of the country during the elections. In fact, when Dr. Justin Kodia, the General Secretary of the NPP, mounted the podium, the political parties were given the opportunity to give us a short message to the police, raising their concerns as well as pledging peace in the election. When Justin Kodia mounted the podium, he raised that concern again about information reaching them that there are plans by some people to cause violence, especially in their strongholds during the election, and asked the police to act on this or tell them what intelligence they have also been picking about some of these issues and how they will deal with it ahead of the elections. He raised some other key concerns, including the fact that they want to know the decision of the police on the use of motorbikes on election day and after the election. He mentioned that in the past, there have been the use of motorbike, cause violence, snatch ballot boxes, and all of that at polling stations. And so they want to know the decision of the police going into the elections, especially on that as well. He also mentioned call on the media, with the media, to also intensify our vigilance as well as our gatekeeping rule, especially against mis and disinformation in this crucial time to the elections, to ensure that there is peace even before, during, and after the elections. When the NDC's Director of Election, Dr. Manipuama, had a chance, we're expecting that, just as his communications officer, Sami Jemfi, told us earlier that they will be petitioning the police on this whole allegation. They would also speak to this, but he declined not to mention this in his address in the presence of the media, but says that he will put that to the police when they go into the behind closed doors meeting and know what the position of the police is. What he mentioned was the professionalism of the police, especially during the election period. The police don't have to be favorable to the ruling party or candidates or appointees of government on the election day, and that concern has been general.
Thank you so much, James Aveji, for bringing us that update. Now, the Electoral Commission of Ghana is set to dispose a collection of electoral materials from the Ahafo and Volta region. The destruction will be carried out through burning. The materials included ballot papers used for the presidential and parliamentary elections. Now, the process will be supervised by representatives of the political parties, the National Intelligence Bureau, the National Security, the Ghana Police Service, and officials of the Electoral Commission. Let's cross over now to Collins Frimpong, who's on the ground for us. Collins, so far, what can you report?
MFA, currently we are at in Sawam Aduajiri constituency in the Greater Accra region, and the destruction or the burning of the electoral materials from both Ahafo region and that of Volta region is happening at Adepa Waste Management Center in Sawam Aduajiri. So we got here a few minutes ago, roughly about 30 minutes ago, and as you mentioned earlier, the National Intelligence Bureau officers are here, as well as National Security and also party agents. Already have seen some of NDC and also NPB and other political parties, their supervisors also around here, as well as that of EC officials. Security is also very tight here, as you see. So in your shots now, it's the sampling or the sorting of some of the ballot papers that were rejected due to the serialization errors that the EC recorded, or they saw, or they found in their processes that they are currently sorting here. So this is the place that the burning will be taking place. As at the number of materials right now, we don't know yet. We don't know the total number of materials that we are going to burn. Or after the burning, then we find out from the electoral commissioners the number of materials that are going to burn here. So if you don't know, this is due to errors that were recorded in the printing of both ballot papers for parliamentary and presidential candidates for both Ahafo region and that of the voter region. I have here with me the NPP supervisor for this particular work here with me. Daddy, good afternoon. Please, your name.
My name?
Yes, and your role in the NPP political party.
Okay, my name is George Kofi Nkrumah. Yeah, I'm a former chairman of Abrikumanov. And then I have done so many things.
Right. So far, how do you see the process so far going on here?
Oh, the process is genuine. Yes, I was an agent in that printing press. So since Monday, we have been looking at it to burn it, but it was yesterday night, and then the report came that today we will come and burn the ballot papers. That's why we are here, but the process is okay.
You don't have any issues with anything happening?
The issues have been solved, so I don't have anything to say now.
Right. So that's the NPP supervisor for this particular project happening here currently at Adepa Waste Management Center in the Insawam Aduojire. The other political party supervisors here, as well as the EC officials that we are hoping to engage. So here, the burning will be taking place already. They've poured petrol on them, and also we hope to get the total number of ballot papers for both parliamentary as well as that of the presidential, so that we give it out to the people. We are looking for some of the political party supervisors to engage. But before then, on Sunday, some of the materials were burnt. According to the EC, those that were burnt on Sunday are overs, and what they are burning here today are the scrap ones, or the used ones, or the unused ones. Yes, or the unused ones. That's what they are going to burn here. So this is involved. What they are burning here is that of the parliamentary and that of the presidential. And what was burned on Sunday, they are overs. And what they are burning here are scraps and plates that were used to print those ballot papers on Sunday. That's what they did. So here they are burning the ballot papers here for both parliamentary and presidential. We are still trying to get some of the NDC or other political parties, their supervisors, to speak to, as well as the EC official here. So MFA, currently at Adepa Waste Management Center, that we are hoping to get the EC to speak to, the EC officials here to speak to. The EC is burning ballot papers of presidential and parliamentary candidates for both. I have here with me the EC official. Good afternoon, Dad.
Updates.
Please, can you give us more about what is happening here?
Collins, I seem to be losing you. Just finalize on your point so that we can wrap up there. On your screens now are live visuals there from Insawam. If you recall, the Electoral Commission said that indeed they would be burning the papers that they recognize serialization errors. I could see Collins is engaging the rep from the Electoral Commission. Let's listen in.
I have the EC with me here. Hello, MFA, I have the EC with me here.
Please make progress.
Please, give us more details about what's happening here.
Well, we are in the process of destroying the ballot papers for Ahafo and Volta region. Ballot papers that the Commission informed the public that they have serialization issues. Right, so those are the ballot papers that we are destroying at the moment.
So far, do you know the total number of ballot papers for presidential and parliamentary?
We'll give you the figures at the end.
Right. Give us more details about what happened on Sunday and what is happening here.
What happened on Sunday?
Sunday, the burning. What happened on Sunday, the burning?
The burning that happens within the premises of the company was the burning of what we call the overs, the waste papers, okay, and then the destruction of the plates. So those are the three items that we worked on in the premises of the company at the industrial area, South Industrial Area. Okay, that is totally different from those. Okay, and that is a routine thing that we do when we finish the printing process. The plate that was used for the printing on the ballot has to be destroyed, okay, as the final item under destruction. But this particular one as a peculiar case, okay. If you could remember, the commission rejected these ballots that were printed by the printing house based on the defects that the commission indicated in the press release. So this is what we are doing now.
Right, thank you. Firstly, I have with me the waste management company, the one in charge here. Good afternoon, Daddy.
Good afternoon.
What are some of the processes that we are going to go through to burn the materials?
We just want to ensure that all the materials that have come, we load it on the floor here, and then we put petrol inside. But because of the thickness of the material, we want to make sure that when the first layer is done, we put petrol on it. Then they bring the other one, we put another layer on it, then we put petrol on it, and make sure that by the time we finish the whole thing, there are petrol in it so that it will fast track the burning process, because the thing is very thick. And then we don't want you to delay because it will take quite some time. So we are adding a lot of petrols with every layer that they bring. There are about 3 trucks. So we put 2 layers already. So we are going to add more fuel as we go along so that we can try and burn it as fast as possible.
Are there going to be any issues with regard to burning everything totally? Somebody will be having issues. If you look at the material that they have put on the ground, you can see that some of them are heavy papers, and they are folded onto one another, and the fire may not be going down there. How sure are we that all those will get burnt?
So everybody is here. We'll make sure, just make sure that everything is burnt before you leave the site, because you can't leave once you feel like that something is not burnt. Still stay around and make sure that it is burnt before you leave the site. That's what I would advise everybody, because if you leave, I don't know what you say, but just make sure that everything is burnt.
Right. So, firstly, that's the site manager for Adepa Waste Management Center in Sawam Aduajiri. So, the sorting is still ongoing here, and we will make sure the management and everybody, the EC and the security agencies, as well as the party supervisors, are making sure that everything gets burnt here.
Thank you, Collins, for bringing us that update. On your screens now, live visuals from Insawam. The Electoral Commission had served notice that they had spotted some serialization errors in ballot papers meant for the Ahafo and Volta region. And for that matter, they are destroying the ballot papers. And that's what's happening there at Insawam today. Thank you, Collins, for that update. Now, away from that, let's shift our attention now to the NPP, because the governing New Patriotic Party is fighting off claims of massive vote buying and abuse of incumbency as captured in the second CODEO pre-election observation statement. Now, according to findings published by CODEO, both the NDC and the NPP were cited in instances of vote buying and with people being given money or valuables to influence their vote. Also, the report said the NPP and the NDC, as well as some independent candidates, provided treats such as food and drink to event attendees during campaign activities. However, reacting to the findings on Joy News X Spaces with Blessed Sugar on Tuesday, the Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NPP, Isaac J. Hyde, explained that cultural values and empathy are cogent grounds for giving treats to voters and not meant to induce them to vote in a certain way.
See it as an abuse. They're only accounting to the Ghanaian people what they've used the 8 years for. And so the drip project, which was coming into town, in one way, if you see people championing and running around and celebrating it, it's because, yes, the NPP has shown that indeed, given the mandate, we've been able to, solve the problem that has been a challenge for them. And if they are celebrating and thanking the government, I think that is not out of place.
If you take a look at what the report is saying, the NPP appears to be giving more in terms of transportation and food to people who are attending your rallies. Why is this the case?
At least, the good thing is that this is not money. Comparatively, we have incidences like you saw in the Jura somewhere last year during the NDC parliamentary primaries and presidential primaries, where vote buying was fully in the full glare of the public. At some places like Trifuati Mokwa, gas cooker and other materials were being shared.
You don't feel that food and water could influence voter choice?
By our Ghanaian nature, we are a very hospitable, society. It's part of our culture to offer people some goodwill in terms of food and water. And so if somebody goes to a campaign, and I can bet for all the campaign tours I've done, either with the flag bearer or the running mate or even within the constituencies, I've never seen an instance where people have formed queue that they are going to line up because as part of the processes, once the campaign is done or once the rally is done, they are going to be offered food.
While the National Democratic Congress also says, despite disagreeing with CODEO, that it engages in vote buying, it is warning that the abuse of incumbency by the NPP with the District Roads Improvement Program at moving equipment could spark electoral violence. Elikem Kotoko is Deputy National Organizer of the NDC.
No, I'm not sure I'm calling the NPP out, but I'm just saying that there's an iota of truism in that particular one. Reason being that while you are treating people, for instance, people have moved from one point to the other in order to partake in maybe your Congress or an electoral process. There's a need for you to feel the concern, to feel for them and want to give out some pastries, some drinks, etc., while they are waiting to take their turn to do whatever. But somebody may also classify that as vote buying, which may not necessarily be the case. It, however, behoves on us as citizens to put in measures that would ensure that political parties adhere strictly to certain fundamental rules that bars the individual delegates or candidates from doing such things. It therefore means that responsibility must be shifted to the political parties to be fully responsible for those treats, for the TNT, for the feeding, accommodation of these people. So once it is established and political parties would adhere to it, it means they will become responsible for that, and the delegates will not be burdened to want to do that to please the the voter in order to gain their favor. I think the atmosphere is not entirely that serene as CODEO wants us to believe. We'll be acting ostriches if we want to say so. There are some undercurrents about the misbehavior and the conduct, for instance, of the government, which is abusing the incumbency we're talking about. If, for instance, you are saying that drip equipment, which my tax is used to pay, to buy, is being used to tar my road or to clear my road, and the opposition or the government in power.
Still on the NDC, the running mate of the National Democratic Congress, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has criticized the new patriotic party for prioritizing development in areas perceived as their strongholds. While speaking during a courtesy call on the Wala overlord Nafuseni Seidu Pelpo, Professor Opoku-Agyeman said the NDC ensures equal development across the country, regardless of voting pattern. She noted that some parliamentarians outside the NPP are being sidelined in development projects, but assured that the NDC would not back down from pursuing the people's agenda. Professor Jane Nana is touring the Upper West region. Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
Professor Jane Opoku-Agyeman was accompanied on the tour by some stalwarts of the party, including former Health Minister Alex Sebefia. The NDC running mate then rolled out of the Wa airport and headed to the Warner's Palace, where she paid a courtesy call on the overlord of the Wala traditional area, Nafuseni Seidu Pelpo IV. Spokesperson of the Wala overlord, Jimpen Nakadir Ibrahim, recalled some few requests that they penciled for John Dramani Mahama on his recent visit to the palace.
To his surprise, just a few weeks ago, he learned that a number of districts and municipalities in the country had benefited or are to benefit from the elevations to different status, much to the neglect of the one municipality. And His Majesty says that a future NDC government should consider.
Rafiq Salam filed that report, and that's how we wrap up the bulletin. Remember, as always, Election Headquarters is brought to you in association with Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, Chopbox, a convenience service, German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty, Chopbox Technologies, as we said, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, and AICPA, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Also brought to you by Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. Syntex tanks, a strong, a tough Potential Real Estate, your trusted partner in real estate, and the Loxy Paints champion. Thank you so much for your time. For more news, please log on to myjournalman.com. My name is Faustina Safo. Good afternoon.